Hey YouTube, how you going? This is just a brief video to say that with the application that we've been building, I feel it's time to move on from banging our heads against the wall with testing. So I want to make this a little bit of an explanation as to why I think AI is still struggling with testing our application. So when we come over to Claude, we've got our project knowledge base and it does a pretty good job, to be honest. We have done had Claude write some tests for things like get the user profile and verify their email, and eventually we do get there and the tests work. If you've watched my latest videos, you'll know that we've been creating a whole new piece of functionality around an internal platform admin, as in a role for myself or someone who's administering the platform through which our customers then use. So this is kind of a diagram. This is our platform, so this is our super admin user, and then we have user accounts within the broader platform. And this is, originally we were creating this so this person or this role would be able to add IP addresses to our whitelist or blacklist. Maybe they also perform other functions in the future, like give user accounts free credits, etc. So this piece of functionality has an absolute bucket load of files just under this internal user alone. You know, there's 8 or so, 10 there maybe, and then it also calls on our middleware files as well, validation chains, etc. And I think because of that, even with Claude and the project files, it just there's too much going on for it to remember. So the other issue we've been running into is that Claude constantly runs out of messages. You get around 45, so if you're back and forward saying, hey, this fails, this fails, this fails, you just burn through them really quick. As a result, I did try and find some other applications that I might be able to use. Someone recommended cursor.ai. I've tried that. I didn't really like the interface. I didn't really like how it kind of didn't give explanation to the code. I know some people love it, but not for me. And then we were using continue.dev just in the previous video, but if we scroll up, if you've watched that video, I was in a different chat, so this chat, I basically asked it, I said, hey, why do you keep getting things wrong? And it responded, if I can find it, context, Control F, why can't I? Okay, that doesn't work either. It basically responded saying that its context, so let's just go to a chat, and let's go, sorry, new chat. Its context is only whatever is in this chat. So for example, if I go at internal user controller, please explain this file and its functions. Right, it's going to explain it, does a decent job. Now, if I ask it another question, like at middleware, what's about, no, not at middleware, error middleware, and I start a new question, it told me that it doesn't have context of the previous chat. So we could maybe ask it again, please, do you have context of our entire conversation or just this current message? See, so I only have context of the current conversation, current message in our conversation. Sorry, keyword current message. So before, when we've been saying, hey, we get these errors, can you fix it? And then something else goes wrong and we say, can you fix it? It doesn't have context of the files if we attach those, you know, even a message before. If we give it some feedback, like, hey, it seems like you're going wrong here, it doesn't have context. And this is because it's basically an interface that's using just the Claude API that I had to get an API key for behind the scenes. Whereas with Claude directly, like this chat interface of Claude, it does retain the context of the entire conversation. So Claude.ai with your chat windows does a much better job than continue.dev. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. But we still have this trouble where we just have, we're just spending way too much time writing tests, like way too much time. So as a result, when we come and look at our functionality, we haven't really added a huge amount more. And the idea of this was not to become bogged down in the weeds. The idea of this was to try and be quicker and to try and write code to create functionality and eventually build a new startup, which still haven't decided what we're building yet, but hey. So we're going to move on from tests until I figure out a better approach, and we're going to start adding some more functionality. So very short video, no more just tests. Let's go. Okay, welcome to another video. If you've just seen my previous one, you'll have noticed that I've said we're moving on from doing jest tests. We're sick and tired of AI not being able to understand things when it comes to testing multiple files. And as a result, we do have, we're going to get rid of this window actually, we do have some functionality that we need to get back on track with adding. Before I do that, I am going to commit this current code, so git add, and then we are going to git commit -m. This is everything from internal user functionality. This is health checks. This is suspicious IP checks, and associated tests. I'll say that fail currently. So they still fail. Should have done this as different branches, but hey, don't need to worry about that for the time being. It is only me working on this project. So if we now come over to our folder, our Miro board, I'm going to explain a little bit of the functionality and where we're up to. So let's start with our internal user. So we've got this like create initial super admin user, and then we have built out functionality to create additional platform admins, and we have the ability to log in platform admins and log out platform admins. And then if we also we've got this rotate key functionality as well, so rotating the API keys, which we're going to look into in a second. I want to select these, bring that down. Okay, rotate API keys, update internal user status, Then we also have update allowed IP addresses, and this is basically so we have oh man, we've got quite a lot of functionality here. This was all created with AI, so this was pretty good. So terminate session, terminate all sessions, get an audit log, and get user sessions. So when you think about this functionality, if we've got a platform administrator who might, for example, have the ability to provide free credits to a customer, we obviously want to make sure that the person who has the ability to provide that is logging in a very secure manner, which is why there's a requirement for them to have an API key and also the HMAC secrets. Again, don't really understand that functionality too much myself if you watch my early videos. So we can create that user, a super platform admin. That person can then create more admins. We can log in, we can log out, we can rotate their API keys. We can change their internal status from different platform admin, super platform admin. We can define what IP addresses they're allowed to log in from. We can terminate their session, we can terminate all sessions, we can get an audit log. So let's just say in the future someone's given away free credits, and we're like, hang on a minute, like, why are you giving away free credits? No manager gave you a responsibility to do that or told you to do that. Oh, we can look at the audit and we can see that this person gave free credits to their friend and get their user sessions. So we haven't tested all of this functionality, not only with Jest, but just by ourselves with Postman. What we had done is create, so we're using Postman as well if you haven't seen my early video, and we're starting to document these collections. So we've got our create initial super admin user and log in the internal user. But the response of this login was, MFA, multi-factor authentication is required, but we don't have a way of getting that email. So we're going to come over to Claude. We have updated a lot of things here. So, not that. Actually, not that either. Package is in twice. So we're just going to go through and we're going to update all of these files so that Claude is working with the newest information and we don't have any concerns with that. So this will just take me a little while. Okay. Validate. Jesus, so many things. Authorize. Middleware. So we'll delete that and then start adding this content. So appdb package.json server, just config stays the same. All right, upload. We're going to go into our utils, validators, so email validation, and content. Maybe I shouldn't upload the tests files because I don't think that's relevant at this stage. Okay, tests, no, we won't do that. Services, so common services. Routes. Models. So middleware. Our validation chains. Then we've got wonder if we can write a script that uses Anthropic's API to add content to a project knowledge base. That would be very handy. All right, controllers, config. Components, email verification. Internal users. Okay, upload. Login. Almost there. MFA. Password reset. Profile. And we got registration. Okay, so if we go to our existing functionality, let's close some of this down. And we go to log in controller. So this is the preview URL that we're getting currently for a normal user logging in, so authenticate user. And we're generating the token, and where's the preview URL? Email result is coming from, here it is, email result equals await MFA service, send MFA email. So that's in the normal login service. So what we want to do is look at our internal user. I might go split screen for a second, drag this back there. Does it do that? Internal user, start off in our controller. And we've got initial setup, create internal, login internal. So we then have our authenticate internal user. We get the email, password, MFA token. But you can see here, MFA required is true. And yeah, we don't pass any requirement back to, well, we don't have a send MFA email service yet. So we need to add that. So we're going to go to Claude and we're going to say, we have a separate model for internal user, which has its own control routes, controller, and services. An internal user always has to have MFA enabled, which you will see in the code. When the user logs in, they need to click the need to verify via email. In our normal user login, which is for the model user, and login.routes, login.controller, login.services, you will see we are using Ethereal Mail to send the email verification link while we build this functionality, while we build this app. Can you now do the same for our internal user? Provide the code and advise what files to update. Alright, I'll just copy that because we're on. Cool. So we're going to bring in our email service, obviously. Okay, let's put the email just there. We'll keep that email just there for now because we do have later on the idea of creating an email template system. So I'm not going to worry too much about that at this particular point in time. We'll just get it operating. File. So we need to internal user MFA service. Oh no, I think we might have already had the email here before. So internal user internal MFA service, and what we are looking for is just, let's check, as I've learned, let's double check that I'm bringing in all of the required imports. So we've got crypto, we don't have token, so we need to bring in our token. Actually, let's just check that for a second. Token. Internal user. We are still using our token model. I just couldn't remember if we'd specified a different token model for internal users only. Generate MFA. Why? It's taking me down quite a different approach than what we've currently got. Authenticate internal user. Let's have a look at this internal user service. Authenticate internal user. User.find. That's the same. Okay. Internal MFA. See, it's saying to create. We already had this internal MFA dot service. Well, maybe I didn't have. Is it in? It was in our project knowledge. You may have missed it. Thank you. We didn't have a we didn't have a send MFA email function for this. Is the code in the file originally. This is what I mean with the amount of messages that we just waste. So we've done like 3 messages and got nowhere. Right. Okay, my bad. Okay. Usage of backup codes. Alright, so add these functions into, so hang on, there's some that we need to update, not just add. So add these ones. Oh my god. Copy. And then update setup MFA. And then update validate token. Okay, so that remains the same down to backup code match. If backup code match. Okay. Save. And then we need to add these in. So we've got. Hang on. It's gonna go email service. So send. Okay, and okay, save that. Okay, so I have added, made those changes. Now what do we update in our what do we update in the rest of the code base? I haven't done anything yet to our routes or validation internal user validation files. Okay, so internal validation chains. Let's see, so we've got initial setup, login, create internal user, API key rotation, update status, IP whitelist, log out, session management, audit log. So we need to add this. Actually, we need to add all of these, obviously. Save that. Create components internal. Okay, so we need a new file. Internal. Now create components, internal users, internal user.mfa control. Okay. Internal. MFA service. Here in the code you said to use, whereas we have a separate file called internal mfa.service.js. Just want to make sure it knows. What's it? Set up MFA. We already have. Oh my god, so dumb. Our internal mfa.service.js already has a lot of that functionality, I thought. I mean, I know it does, but yeah. That was the controller, sorry, my bad. Internal, yeah, but we have controller, internal user controller. So again, we already have an internal user.controller. Oh no, this is specifically for okay. So yeah, why are we? Why? Okay. Copy. Save. Right, update internal user.routes. And we've got our post route. It's not meant to be authenticated though. Oh no, set up. MFA setup and management. Yes, okay. Copy. Okay. Let's just see what's going on. So internal user routes validate. Okay. Validate. Yeah, we don't need. Bring this over here. Everything below, all routes below this use these, so we can just get rid of it from here, I believe, which is the issue. Although I do prefer the other way actually. Save. Authorize. 12. Why is this not? Why do I get this error? did not know that. Okay, let's try and log in. Why are we failing? So, login. Shit. No. I didn't just cut and paste the whole thing. So it's going to be that stupid... For whatever reason. I mean, it's obviously a good security feature. MongoDB Atlas. Obviously, my IP address must constantly rotate, and every time we come back to it, it says that it's not allowing my IP address to access. So save, running again, try and log in. Still didn't work. Okay. We need the okay. No, wrong. I've got so many tabs open. Let me close some stuff down. Actually, it was. Where the hell did it go? Project. Man. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I want to test the MFA endpoint in a minute. First, however, I have tried to log in with Postman, and we don't get the preview URL sent for real mail. Probably tell you why. So authenticate, we're probably not passing it. Authenticate internal user. Yeah, well, we're not getting it in our controller, and we're not passing it back because we didn't update that file. So, yeah, internal user. So this result. Yeah, that's what we need. And then, actually, this has changed too. And then in our response, chain data and preview URL. Oh no, if MFA required. But MFA should always be required. Preview URL. What? Where is the preview URL? Result dot. In the service. So, sorry. I've got to remember to keep the code here. So in the service, we're probably not passing it in. So this is authenticate. So we need to return preview URL. So where is login attempt? is valid. So that changes. And then send MFA. We already have a send MFA function. Oh, we don't. Oh, this is confusing me. Why didn't I thought we added that? This is our service. Okay, we'll come back to that. So in the internal user controller, login. So result, yeah. That's all correct. We've put in our, yeah, okay, we did that. All right, so then we need to it's getting confused with our MFA service and our internal MFA service. So okay, so internal MFA service. We have, do we have a send? Send MFA email. We have a backup. We have a send MFA setup email. Setup MFA, okay. So we need to bring in our email service, which we do. We need to bring in logger, which we do, and then we need to add this functionality. And then we need to add that as one of our exports. So generate MFA token, it's not defined. And internal user service. So generate, no definition. So where were we meant to hang on, internal user service we need to bring in. Let's do that. In the authenticate internal user, we need email, password, MFA, yep. If no MFA token, okay, that's all the same. Okay, maybe it's just that I'd missed the import again. No. Okay. Okay. So we didn't create that functionality again. Generate. Yeah, okay, I swear to God we created that. Maybe I'm getting confused with our normal MFA service. All right, anyway, so in our generate MFA functionality, we need to add this Then we also need to add it as an export. Then we need to internal user.service. We need to make sure we're importing those. It's a bit annoying because it's now importing them like this. And then in authenticate. So, yep. I'm just going to copy that whole thing just so we don't miss anything. Ah, god damn it. Okay. Send. User is not defined. Jesus. So, internal user service. It's probably because we just don't have a user. Oh, hang on, what line was it at? We need to get off this chat. All right. Okay, we're trying to use user before generating it in the internal MFA service. So in oh, sorry, now internal. Okay. All right, gonna hit send. Oh my goodness. I need to start solving some of this by hand, otherwise we're just gonna steamroll through all of our tokens. So let's look at this. So user is not defined. Cannot read properties of undefined reading user. Session service create session. .info new session created. New sesh. Okay, so I was just checking. We have this log, new session created. Oh no, hang on, that's in create session. Let's take a step back. So yeah, create session. This is in our internal user. And ID is not defined. So we're passing into session. So that won't fire properly because this doesn't work. Result. Authenticate internal user. So we should just console.log here. Result. It will fail obviously, but user ID. Let me just ask. So So authenticate internal user. So let's go console.log. This is our user. All right. Why? Okay, so and this needs to be somewhere else. If no MFA token. Let's try and put it there. Right, this is our user. Yeah, it comes as that. Okay, here we go. So result. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll try it. Which one's it on? Let's get rid of this. This should be an issue I can figure out, but that's what I thought. But where? Internal user controller. Result. User ID. User ID. Yep. Right. Fix authentication service. Yeah. Okay, authenticate. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, MFA needs to be set up for this account. So this is where we haven't tested this functionality. So if we look at our internal user routes, MFA. So MFA setup. Okay, so user ID is now params. QR code. So I think all we have to do then is close a couple of these down. Put this over here. All right, so we're going to do a post request. And we will need our same validation. So I'm going to duplicate our existing one. We need to hit internal. Yeah, so this is still going to be internal. It's going to be internal / users / the user ID, which is, I'll show you the string in a second, / MFA. Set up. And I don't think we have to pass anything into the body. So this is what I'm trying to hit. So we got internal / users / user ID / MFA / setup. False. Authentication token missing. What I might do, I'll just actually bring this over here. File, save as. Oh, damn it. No. Set up MFA token for internal. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. So what do we need? Authentication token missing. So what type of token does it want? In our headers, we need to put in our, so from login, yeah, so we don't get our token though when we log in. Man, so annoying. So we meant to have, I'm just trying to think, we meant to have a separate token because this is a different type of user. So internal user, where's our models? Internal user. We don't have a token for our internal user. When I try and call the API endpoint for setting up MFA, it says that I didn't know if we are using normal auth tokens, so for this user type. Okay, the JWT token isn't provided in a login response. But MFA token, how do we don't. Oh man, we're going to use up all of our credits, I can tell it. We don't generate a token, a normal token, JWT token for the internal user. We only generate an MFA token, but how can the user get the MFA token if they don't first enable MFA, set up MFA? Therefore, in our internal user.controller and internal user.services file, don't we need to generate and pass a JWT token back in the body of the login request for an internal user, and equally add token as a item on the internal user model? There we go. So I was right. So we go to our model, which I can't find now. Internal token. Internal user service. Bring in JWT. Generate auth token. Authenticate. Controller. Authentication token missing. Okay, so right. It doesn't look like. And create host users. And then okay. All right. So log out and Okay. Let's try. Okay, fantastic. So, should be our bearer token. Authorization. Send. MFA initiated successfully. It's got this QR code and these backup codes. What? Okay. So it's generating a QR code, which is a real pain. I thought that worked, but I thought we were using ethereal mail for non-MFA, not QR codes, or can we offer both options? Alright. Internal MFA.service. Okay. No. Alright, so MFA. Generate email. Okay. Send email. Cool. All right. Update MFA controller. MFA. All right. And we've got some crash, internal MFA service. Send email. Send email. Send MFA email. Send MFA emails not defined. All right, here we go. So we've turned on MFA, backup codes. Stick these here for a second. All right. So that worked. Alrighty, we're getting there. So we go back to our routes. Let's go through this one by one. So we've set up our user. We've gone to log in. We had to set up MFA. Now that we've set up MFA, we can try and log in again. Please enter the code from your Authenticator app. And then delete, get, post, regenerate. Okay, there's a lot going on in this, and I feel like we are going to go back to Node.js project. We need to update these files. So pull this over here. We're going to delete internal MFA service. We'll delete internal user controller. We're going to delete internal user MFA controller. That was a new file. Internal user routes, internal user service, and our internal user model. We're going to delete those. Then we're going to upload them again. So, internal user, service controller, MFA controller, routes and service. And then upload, model, internal user, open. Please provide a step-by-step set of instructions for creating an initial, setting up an initial internal user, logging in, setting up MFA, logging in with MFA, etc. Basically cover all routes in the internal user.routes.js file. Please include the API endpoint we need to hit in for each item, and the info we need to pass into the body, headers, or params. Okay. So we've done that. Login. Yep. Okay. So how can we open I really don't want to keep using tokens or chat messages. So in our internal we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to say, please add the ability to use MFA application using ethereal mail and not just QR codes on login. I'm not exactly sure how we get that. Like, that image isn't being saved anywhere currently, so I don't exactly know. Actually, where is it being saved? Data image. I don't know. I don't really know too much about that QR code package. So I have to look into that. Please add the ability to use MFA authentication using ethereal mail, not just QR codes on login and anywhere else it is needed for this internal user. We already have it for enabling MFA. It'll be confused. We'll leave it like that. Okay. Internal user. Internal MFA service, yep. MFA types, authenticator app and email, yep. Generate email MFA token, we already have that. Send MFA, yep, we already have that. Set up MFA. Where is it? So we already have that. Already have that. Email result, already have that. It's all the same. That's all the same. It's all the same. Okay, validate. Backup code match. Okay. So that needs to be different. And then alrighty. So internal user service. Authenticate internal user. Tokens. This changes. And this changes. Cool. And then just did that. Right. Internal user. Yeah, we just did that. Internal user MFA model. internal user. So MFA enabled, yep. Default, yep. Required, yep. Type. Okay. Fantastic. So let's try and log in again. Internal MFA service is not defined. Internal user. The imports are done slightly differently. Okay. Log in. Please enter the code from your authenticator app. Have an authenticator app. Set up. I don't know if we can hit the same endpoint twice for the same user, so then back to login. Okay, so what we might do is go to our project, go to browse collections, go to internal users, go to MFA enabled type authenticator app. This should be in internal user, can be email or authenticator app. So let's just try changing that to email. Apply. No, why did it? I want to edit that. Email. Why does it not like update? Okay. Obviously, you should never do that in real life in production, like directly interact with the database, but hey, it is what it is. Let's try. Token is not defined. I think we are importing token, so const token equals require, and this is just in our internal MFA service. Okay. Oh, it's logged the preview. Okay, so what we just need to do in here, it's if the node environment is in production, it's logging the preview URL, but what we can also do is returning email result. I'm just wondering, can we internal MFA? Let's open on this side. Where are we? Internal MFA service, internal MFA controller. Disable. What is calling? What's calling send verification? MFA. Okay, here it is. So we're sending the MFA verification in only one spot. Okay, and yeah, we are meant to be. Why isn't email preview URL? Return email result. Email result. Email process.m.nodem does not equal production. Let's try something. If MFA required but no token provided, it's the only place where we send. Just double check. Then why am I not able to pick up email result? Preview. Check one more thing. Why doesn't it like that? Email. Why? It's been a while. Yeah, preview URL. So email result.preview. Why are you getting angry at that? If I want to return unexpected token. It's object. Okay, so we're just going to ask ChatGPT to save some tokens. With this code, when I try and access email result.preview URL in the return, nothing shows, even though the console log of email result.preview URL does show the field I want. Any ideas why? Come on. I didn't realize I'm using ChatGPT 01 preview. So let's just saying to do that. Email result. Okay. When I do this, it comes up logs as this. So we can try this, see what the response object comes back. I don't know, it should be simple. I'm sure someone out there is watching going, oh my god, what are you doing? That's what I mean. In the response object, we get it. This is crazy. So then in our internal user controller, darn, I'm so stupid. If result, so it should be right, surely. Let's see if it requires MFA setup. Okay, there we go. So if I do this now, there was the preview. See, so when you set up MFA token for internal user, it's setting it up as a QR code. Because if we go back to database and refresh, that'll have changed from email to authenticator app. Yep. So set up MFA type. I need to pass in the type in the body, otherwise it defaults to, so hang on, user ID. Okay, so in here, if I do type email, send. Oh, hang on. Type email, send. Okay, now I try and log in, send. I get my preview URL, which I click, and I get my code. Okay, fantastic. We are getting there, people, slowly. So, all right. Just going to pull this over here. Bring this up. Create, setup needs to go before login because you need to do that. Okay. So login. So verify. So then I need to let's just duplicate this, drag this there, and this is going to be verify MFA token for internal user, and we need to hit the endpoint of users, internal / users / user ID MFA / verify, and in the body we need to pass in the token, which is our code. So headers, we don't have our token here. Body. Invalid request signature. Okay, this is going to be because login. That's right. And yeah. Token. Does our endpoint allow us to verify with the code from the email MFA functionality? Okay, so I need to make an update because there was a mistake in the code. So in the internal user.mfa controller, in verify and enable, we need to be able to do this. We will get there eventually. Save. All right. we get there. All right. So let's log in again. So our preview URL, click that. Let's just then verify MFA token. Why? Invalid request signature. So we are calling routes. Let's walk through this for a second. Verify. So we call. Second, okay, internal. So verify. We get our user ID off the params. We get our token from the body, which is what we're doing. Okay. Actually, what order? Authenticate, validate. So it's missing required HMAC headers. X signature headers. We do have X signature. Where do we get X signature? What's the X signature again? Okay, let's just ask that. What is, when we try to verify our MFA token, what does it mean by needing an X signature? It's one of the parameters we have to pass in, but we've got hang on. Yeah, we need to, in our scripts, so I was trying to set this in Postman with yep. Yep. They are correct. in our pre-request. Yeah, we're doing all that. We headers, X signature, timestamp, bearer, we've got that. Content type, yep. Body, token, yep. Scripts, post. So send. This X signature is different. No. What is? Okay. This is okay, copy, send. Fucking hell. They're correct. Okay, unfortunately we had hit the old limits with Claude, so we're abandoning working on for the time being this internal user functionality. We're getting an error. If you've watched, I don't know if it'll be before this video or if I'll append them, but we're getting an error. So I want to continue with what I can do, which is documenting our application. And to do that, we're using Postman for the API endpoints. And obviously we can't really proceed with the internal user one, but what we can do is look at our normal users. So we've got our registration route, which I've got open. We can come over to Postman, of course, and I think we already have one of these routes, but we haven't saved it. So we've got register, we had test email 28, so we might make that 29, and we will send this. Okay, that obviously works. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new folder here, new folder. And we're going to call this register user. And we're going to save as in here, register a new user. All right, so then we do need to verify the email. And to do that, we need to do a post request. I'm trying to remember. So, email verification. We need to do a GET request. So, I can't even remember, to be honest. Regular query token should be. Why is that a GET request? Verify email. Because we're not posting it, we're just putting it. Okay, so it is a GET request. Not that one, obviously. Don't save that. It's not that either. Just seeing if we've already got it. No, okay, so we'll do a new request. Just pull this over here so we've got it next to our register. We are going to copy this, we're going to paste this, and it's going to be going to email verification routes / verify email. Then authentication controller verify email token. I'm trying to remember. Oh my god, it's been a while. No, I remember now. I remember. It was meant to be auth / verify email. Yeah. User not found. So register token. Is meant to be that. Route not found. Did have auth send. User not found. I know, because we're in development, and we set the verification to need to be done within like 30 seconds, no, 60 seconds. So because I was mucking around, it probably wasn't picking it up. All right, click this. This is why taking so long and jumping all over the place is probably not ideal. So if we go back here, get request, that's send. Route not found. So we've got auth, send. Okay, email verified successfully. So, file save as. We will do verify new user email. Save. All right. Now, before we move on from this functionality, what I want to do is add some documentation. How do you make this bigger? So you can pop this out. Let me think about this. Where do you go? There's that. Comments. Docs. Here we go. All right, this is what I want to do. So I'm going to use ChatGPT, and I want to take the functionality. So route, please provide a clear but brief description of what this functionality does. So validation chat. Where are we? And then validate request. And then our controller. And our services. in clear but brief description of what. Please provide it in a logical manner. Now let's just see. I mean, I know we're only talking about a registration functionality. It's not that complex, but I'm really tossing up with how you document as things get more complex. I don't think. This is where we'd save it in Postman. I don't know. Not really. Just trying to think. I'm just thinking out loud because obviously for something as simple as registering a user, like it makes sense. But I'm just wondering once you start to have like much more detailed interactions, you can't really cover it all here. I think we just continue for the time being with the routes. So if we go to register, that was the only route, and then we also had the verification routes. So what we've done is verify email, and then we can resend verification email. So we need to do another post request. This one should be a little bit easier for me to remember, which is great. So we are going to close that one. We can save that one. Then this post request, no, we might have one already open. Yeah, resend. So actually, we should get our. We're going to need to do a login to get our user ID because I forgot to do that. So body 30 send. Right, copy this. This is the user ID, and then this is the resend verification email. Send. Email's already verified. That's fine. File save as. Resend. Save. All right, close that. Then we can have a new folder here. Actually, yeah, let's just quickly add a new folder. We'll call this login user. We've got our post request, which was back here. File save as. Login user. All right, then get user tokens. So we have this other functionality, which is a post request. So here, which is auth slash user tokens slash user ID. So login user ID. Send. Right, found. User dash tokens. Route not found. User dash tokens, user ID, send, route not found. Why is the route not found? API v1 route. Email verification is /auth. we then do /user tokens user ID. I missed the E. No. Not found. So we've got user to get request. God damn it. And then we need to put in our headers. Auth. Bearer. And we need to go back to our login user. Get the token. Not that one. Send. True. I'm not exactly sure what that functionality is meant to do. So get user tokens. Interesting. Not really sure what the functionality of that is meant to do and the benefit of that. So let's just save this file, save as. Ready to start. Get user tokens. Close that. Close that. Alright, so then if we go back to our app, we've done all of our email verification routes. We have got our login route, and we will also check these other ones. So verify MFA. So this needs the user ID and the token in the request.body. And it is a post request. So we might have that already somewhere here. Forgot password, reset, toggle, login. It's twice, so let's get rid of that. Don't save. Verify MFA. So if we take our token, put that here. We take our user ID, and it was test 30. Send. Token must be 6 characters long. What token are we expecting? Oh, no, sorry, of course. So that's post. Where's the? Oh, I'm so stupid. This is the token. Not verified. This is the token that is sent in the email. Get user tokens. And no, something's not right. Verify. it's expecting the MFA token, obviously. Where's the get MFA? It should really return the MFA token. Why is it returning? Man, AI has made a mess of this. So authenticate user. Yeah, when we log in, there's meant to be a preview email sent. Refresh. Yeah, why is that? So when you log in, authenticate user, it's meant to return user ID and this, but it's returning all of this. Doesn't make sense. Let's see where we're going wrong. Company. Data, user ID, email, role, company, everything, yeah, token, okay. So that's being fired from generate tokens. Verify MFA and log in. So I found it, so token. It's creating a JWT token. And in authenticate user, okay. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be the MFA token that gets sent back. But it's not doing it. No. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Maybe. What? We don't have our toggle MFA route anymore. So I think what was happening is we're meant to have a toggle MFA route, so you can turn on MFA, because the previous thing that we did was verify the user email. I was getting mixed up. But our toggle MFA route doesn't exist anymore. Probably because we've cut and pasted code over it. And then when we verify MFA, we're meant to get the email verification code, like, 4 to 6 digits or whatever it is. This is extremely frustrating. I think I'm going to stop the video here and title this AI Makes a Mess of a Project, and I'm going to start again in a second.